Afia, my family, peace and blessings to the gods and goddesses. As always, as we open up, cleansing the space, getting a little smoke in the room. Want to give thanks, want to give praise, veneration, and reverence, to the ancestors, to a spirit, to the orishas, and all the deities that guide me through my path. I want to make sure we give time to give thanks, give praise, and give reverence to all beings on the path with me. I'm not on the journey alone. There's you, there's me, there's we, and we walk together constantly, consistently lifting each other up to the next level. So we want to always make sure we give time to give thanks and praise to reflections, to ourselves and to our reflections. Today, gonna give another go at this. Last week I attempted to do something different, step outside the box a little bit. But the sound on the video did not record properly. So I decided to take that message that I did last week for myself, just in preparation for this week's video. So now when I approach this video, I'm able to give the message clearly and bring an overall understanding while also being direct and to the point, not beating around the bush, not tiptoeing, just, getting straight to the point and saying what it is that needs to be understood. With that being said, the new concept that I'm attempting is essentially reading the collective subconscious mind. And this is something that I personally have not seen anybody else do. So hopefully, this is something different. This is something new that brings a wider range of perspective and perception. When dealing with the subconscious and reading that, giving energy readings based off the subconscious mind, is always important to understand that realm works strongly off of symbolism. So things are rarely what they appear to be. And it's important to really dive deeper into those so that we can get better, more in-depth understanding of our fears, of our traumas, and that icky, sticky stuff that nobody really wants to deal with. But at the end of the day, it's there and we need to address it. Some of the things in the subconscious appear as dreams. And for some people, it's a little harder to break those down, to really understand the symbolism within that. So it is my goal and aim to be able to break certain symbols down, break certain signs down, number patterns down, animal symbols or totems. What else? What are some other options? Elements, weather patterns that may show up in your dreams that could not necessarily be a vision of a future event, but more so telling of your internal emotions in situations where we may see like a lot of storm clouds brewing up or something. We can take that simply as a reference to our emotions and how we're building up towards a climactic point where we need to express ourselves appropriately or end up causing destruction, So little things like that, just being able to break them down and bring a different perspective of understanding towards those things. While I'm doing this, I'll be using my black mirror. One of the things that I want to challenge myself on, and because of stipulations and guidelines coming up, I know I have to understand that they're banning certain spiritual tools and stuff on the internet. So again, stepping outside of the box, I'm challenging my talents and my abilities to not use the actual cards, actual tarot cards to do readings, but to just flow, you know. So using black mirrors, I have a crystal ball I'm not going to use today, um, but allowing these to be my guides as far as doing these videos on the collective subconscious, allowing certain images to appear in the mirror, because again, removing our symbolism. So different images may pop up, number sequences, and also being able to tap into my individual abilities as far as clairaudience or clairsentience, because I'm not relying on the cards to tell me what it is. I actually have to listen. I actually have to see the images, and I think within that it allows for a certain elevation in ability. And honestly, with that, I'm just keep flowing because it seems like I'm, in the groove of things. So I'll just get right into it. What I was listening or discussing with my spirit team before we started the video was in regards to actually skills and talents, and people really stepping into those, stepping into your abilities in this time, and not relying on things like a job to bring you stability and finances. Really tapping into your skills and your talents and your crafts. I know right now it's a very difficult financial time for a lot of people, and we find ourselves searching for the next way to get a dollar, the next way to get a check real quick. And we want to always remember that within your purpose and your mission on the earth, you were sent with a certain set of talents and skills already. So if you just simply take the time, and yes, it may take a little longer because you have to tap back into those skills, and you have to tap back into those skills rather than just going to work for somebody else, rather than somebody telling you what to do. You have to start telling yourself what to do. You got to start remembering what it is that you know how to do. So it takes a little longer, but you do, and we're born with a certain set of skills that you can tap into and utilize, and put that forward towards your career, put that forward towards your financial stability and your overall financial freedom, right? And it's important that when an individual starts stepping into that path, that you understand, you understand that it takes a little longer. It takes time because you have to develop these skills. You have to remember the skill, remember the craft, and then you have to develop the skill and develop the craft. So a big word is always going to be patience. It's always going to be important to be patient with yourself on this journey, and be patient with the overall journey, with the journey itself. Just be patient and understand that everything has an ebb and a flow. So some days you'll be up and other days you'll be down, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, you're experiencing and you're growing. And when it comes to those skills, it's about remembering to always give an effort day by day. Again, it takes time. So just because you start a skill today doesn't mean the money flow is going to come tomorrow. Doesn't mean you're going to get 100 sales overnight. Yes, it's possible, but is it plausible? Is it realistic? So, excuse me. So we have to remember that when we're on this journey, that we have to give effort every day. Just because we may not physically see the manifestation of our work playing out, we have to keep chipping away at the block. Keep chipping away at the block, because you never know when you're gonna strike gold, right? You gotta keep giving effort, keep researching, keep learning different skills or different talents that go in alignment with your main craft, right? So if you have a craft of, we'll use jewelry making for example, researching different skills and different techniques that may get people's attention. You say you're making rings a certain way, and that's not grabbing people's attentions immediately. Go research. Go learn from somebody else. YouTube is a hell of a resource. YouTube University can teach you a lot. It can elevate you and expand your mind a lot. So use the tools that you've been given to elevate yourself, but in alignment with your craft that you already have. There's no need of going to do extra, going to do more, working harder than necessary when you already have a set of skills, right? It's really comes down to that being patient with that set of skills, being willing to give the time. And the way I look at it is you can give time to everything else. You can give time to go to work. You can give time to sit in traffic. You can give time to smoke some weed. You can give time to binge watch on Netflix. Why can't you give time towards your skills and your craft? We can't sit and say that we want financial freedom or we want freedom in general, but we're not willing to take the steps to accomplish that. We're not willing to go the extra mile to expand our overall self, to expand our overall ability, to create that stable cradle, right? To create that foundation, you have to be willing to give the initial steps. And one of the things that I learned early on in my journey was if you at minimum give 20%, spirit, ancestors, whoever's with you is gonna give you that 80, that other 80, just because you attempted, you gave an effort, you were willing to go a little bit more than the average person. So be patient. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. It's not gonna happen next week. It might not happen next month. But you have to keep chipping away at the block. You can't just, oh, it didn't work, let me just move on to something else. Oh, it didn't work, let me go back to a job. It didn't work, let me go start working at Chick-fil-A, or what have you. Keep trying, keep giving effort day by day. And that's what we really need to understand. That, again, the old saying, Rome wasn't built overnight. Nothing you do will be built overnight, or it's more liable to fall. If I built a house in a day, by tomorrow, a windstorm's gonna come and blow it all over. But if I take my time and I build this piece by piece, brick by brick, wood slab by wood slab, this structure that I've attempted to build, it doesn't matter how many windstorms come through, it's gonna hold. It's gonna be steady because I took my time. I took a little bit more extra effort, a little bit extra care and a little bit extra love into this practice, into this structure, into this craft, or whatever it may be. Because for some people, it might not even be in regards to skills or crafts. This might be into your practices, your spiritual practices. Whereas you think if you meditate for 3 days straight, or you should have all the information in the world. It doesn't work like that. You may need to meditate for 4, 5, 6 months before you get any type of download. Whereas Johnny down the road, he meditated for a week and got a download. Everybody's different, right? We're all on different journeys, and we have to be patient with the journey itself. What journey were you given? Be patient with that. Don't be patient with Johnny's journey, because that don't got nothing to do with you. And at the end of the day, it's really about that giving grace, giving, I don't like using the term mercy, but for lack of better terms, that grace and mercy to yourself. Not to beat yourself up because you ain't got it in a day. It literally might just take you 3 months. And if you take the time to give effort, a solid, consistent effort for those 3 months, you may be way further than Johnny could have ever got because you took the time and gave that effort. Johnny didn't have to take time and give effort because he got it in a week, so he got it and moved on, right? But because you took that time and you did the extra mile for 3 months, you're able to build a more stable foundation with this. And that's the real goal here at the end of the day is longevity, sustainability, foundation. Longevity, stability, and foundation. Just because you're the fastest person to do something don't mean it's the best. You just did it before everybody else can do it, right? But your building's liable to fall over the next hour or so. I took my time, so my building's more liable to stand for the next 200-300 years. That's really the key when we're or should be the key, should be the thought process when we're stepping into a new season. Because again, we just had the Pisces new moon last week, and that was an energy of new beginnings, getting starting new craft, starting something fresh, going outside the box. So when we're in that mindset, we should automatically be thinking long term. How can I create something that will sustain? And again, this goes to your crafts, your skills, your practices, your home life, whatever the case may be. Longevity and sustainability. Can I do this for 20 years? 20 years from now, would I still be doing this? Or am I going to be doing this and be done with it next week? Or am I going to be trying this practice and 2 months into it, I'm on to the next thing? I didn't even give it any effort, right? We really have to think about these things because time is precious. Time is a currency. To give somebody your time, that's payment in a fashion. I've paid you in my time, right? So we really have to look at these things when we're elevating into newer states of consciousness, when we're stepping into new beginnings. How are we paying out? How are we being paid? What am I giving? What am I receiving? What's the ebb and flow here, right? What's the ebb and flow? Am I just trying to hurry up and throw some stuff together? Then I need to understand that if I slap this together, I'm gonna probably get slapped back. But if I give effort and I give time and I give energy and I flow with the process and I'm looking and I'm analyzing and I'm understanding, I have a stronger chance of building a stable foundation that's going to give me that time back, that's going to give me that energy back, right? And again, this is just the things to really think about when we're developing new ideas and stepping into new beginnings. We are paying with our energy and we are paying with our time. You wouldn't, if you were getting some work done on your house, you're not gonna go to the guy that's only charging you $10. You're more liable to go to the guy that's charging you $100 because it costs more. It's more effort, apparently. So think about that in terms of time and energy. This costs more time, so it has to be a better product, a better exchange, because I have to put in more for it. If I only have to put in 10 seconds of energy, this ain't gonna be, it's probably not gonna be worth anything. Now, of course, you have your rare situations where that 10 seconds of energy may last you a lifetime, who knows? But the mass majority of times, if you're only paying 10 seconds in energy, 10 seconds of time, you're probably going to get 10 seconds of time back. If you're paying 100 minutes or 100 seconds, let's keep it on the same equivalent basis. 10 seconds versus 100 seconds worth of time. You're going to get 100 seconds worth of time back, right? So let's put in equal exchange. Moral of this story, give what you expect to receive, right? And this may be going into a broader picture or what have you, so forgive me if I'm going off topic or into a tangent. But this is with all things. You can't expect to receive an extravagant gift if you gave somebody a bologna sandwich. Why would I take you out to eat to go to a 5-star dinner and all you gave me was a bologna sandwich? You know, things like that. Put that in the perspective of time and energy. Put that in perspective of your craft, of your practices. Put that in perspective of talking with your ancestors. You rather talk on the phone to Ray Ray down the street, but you haven't picked up the energy phone and talk to your grandma who passed, right? So little things like that, you can't expect then for grandma to turn around and bless you and to guide your steps. You don't even take the time to pick up the phone and talk to her. But you all in little Ray Ray's face down the street. So certain things, right? What am I getting at here? Moral of the story is energy exchange. Give what you expect to receive. If you're giving bullshit, expect to receive bullshit. You can't be mad because you received bullshit. You gave it. You gave it. So don't be mad because that's what you received. Now, if you're giving extravagance, if you're giving abundance, if you're giving prosperity, then you should already know what you'll receive back. At the end of the day, moral of the story, give what you expect to receive. Don't give subpar and expect extravagance. Expect subpar because that's what you gave. So to tie that all the way back around to your skills and your craft, take time. Because just because your craft doesn't blow up overnight, I understand we're in the age of the internet, social media, people blow up overnight. Just because you as an individual on your individual path do not blow up overnight, doesn't mean you just stop. You keep chipping away at the block. You keep giving effort. You keep finding new ways to enhance your skills, to enhance your abilities, because you never know when you will strike gold. Just take time. Give yourself patience, give yourself grace, give yourself mercy. Give that all to the journey itself. Because at the end of the day, it's bigger than just these little moments. It's bigger than just that moment where you were broke. It's bigger than just that moment that you were sad. It's bigger than we can understand. So keep giving effort so that you can get to that point of seeing the bigger picture. Right now, we're stuck in small moments. Keep giving effort. Keep trying. Keep practicing. Keep enhancing your abilities so that when you get to see the full picture and everything comes together, it makes sense. You'll see the worth in it. You'll understand that's why I had to keep practicing every day. That's why I had to keep enhancing. Because what was coming for me, what was meant for me, was way larger than them little ass moments. Those moments cannot compare to what I've received because I gave. Right? Those moments cannot compare to what I received because I gave. And we really have to understand that. Sometimes we can't see the bigger picture, and that's okay. Sometimes it's not necessary to see the bigger picture because then you get laxed. You get comfortable. You assume that you're supposed to receive that, and you start slacking off. You start doing nothing because I've already seen the end. I don't got to do nothing for it. No, you've seen a possible outcome of the end. You still have to take the steps to get there. You don't just close your eyes and wake up and you're there the next day. Unfortunately, we're not in that type of reality. So the reality that we are in is taking a step day by day, taking a step day by day, giving effort day by day until you get to that big picture moment, until you're in that moment, you know? Um, and I think that's the real moral of the story for today's collective subconscious. One, don't get comfortable. Don't get stagnant because you assume that you should receive a certain experience. You still have to take the steps for that experience. Two, give what you expect to receive. If you expect to receive abundance, if you expect to receive prosperity, if you expect to receive blessings and bliss days and peace, then give abundance, give abundantly, give prosperously, give blessings, give peace and bliss days. And excuse me if I go on another tangent, this must be for somebody. You can't it's about, again, going on a tangent, being an asshole. Don't be an asshole and expect people to be nice to you. Don't be an asshole and expect people to bless you. Obviously, people are going to turn their cheeks to you because you've turned your cheek to them. You always got to take the time to see the reflection in the mirror. Anytime we go to the bathroom or we look into a mirror, there's a reflection looking right back at you. And some people, that's the point of me doing this collective subconscious reads, because some people don't like to look in that mirror. Some people don't want to accept or even realize what's in that mirror. Some people don't want to realize that they themselves are the asshole in the picture. So when people are walking around being an asshole towards them, you're looking crazy. Well, yeah, what do you think you've given to other people? Again, that goes back around to the whole story is give what you expect to receive. If you're being an asshole to everybody, you can only expect one thing, and that's for people to be an asshole towards you. And it might not manifest in the way that you do it, because there's different ways to do everything. You can do 2 plus 2 equals 4, 3 plus 1 equals 4, etc., etc. So they may come off through a different refraction or a different reflection than you've claimed, but at the end of the day, that's what you gave. So that it's only the mirror reflecting back to you. You can't be upset at that. You can't be mad because somebody gave you the same energy. So for whoever that's for, stop being an asshole. And then looking crazy, looking with your hand out and getting nothing. Now you mad because you got nothing. Yeah, you was a fucking asshole. Stop being an asshole. And that's the moral of the story when it comes to this collective subconscious. I hope that you all receive what you need to receive, understand what you need to understand. Drop your comments below if you feel anything if that resonated, if that made sense, if that really brought the picture full circle for you. You know, let me know. Let me know if I'm doing my job appropriately. If I need to maybe enhance my skills, maybe I need to work on my craft. So feedback's always appreciated. Thank you for watching. Alafia, peace and blessings, my loves.